What's up?
It's raining.
Yeah, I know. Supposed to rain all day. So my projects for today are in the garage. I got 10 more buckets off in the bucket garden that didn't have net cups last year. I didn't have the time. We were pushed for time, so I drilled a hole in the bottom of them and put a cotton t-shirt through them as a wick. So it would wick the water. The wick would go down in the trough and it would wick the water up through the cotton t-shirt material. If you don't or can't find the net cups or the size hole saw to do the net cups on the bottom, just drill a hole about that big and rip off a piece of cotton t-shirt and knot one end and slide it down through the bucket so that the wick hangs down and the knot stays in the bucket so your wick doesn't fall out. Fill it up with dirt and you can do your bucket garden that way if you can't find the net cups. And then like this season, I've got, with a rainy day like today, I'm going to drill out the buckets for the net cups and get the buckets set up that I couldn't do last year. So I had to scrounge up 10 buckets off the bucket system to be able to do that. So, and the buckets, you buy the buckets now with this COVID going on. The prices have went up on everything, as you well know. Before I was buying the buckets for $2.50 a bucket. Now they're about $4 a bucket. So if you can get the rubberized bucket, you might want to wait. Maybe the price will go down. I'm not sure. But if you can get the rubberized bucket, they will last you probably 5 to 6 years before you'd ever have to replace them. I haven't had to replace any of the Lowe's or Home Depot buckets at all because they're the rubberized plastic. The ones that came from the bakeries are the little white buckets. When the sun gets to those, they get brittle and snap and break. And as I get into the garden, I'll show you that. They're good for a season, maybe two. But if you want buckets that you're not going to have to replace all the time, go with the rubberized buckets. Now, Walmart sells buckets, but I'm not sure which they are, whether they're the light plastic or whether they're rubberized. You can use those too. I don't have any idea how much they cost there, and I'm not sure if they have a lot of them there. But today's project is I've got the 10 buckets. I have to put net cups into the bottom of them. And I've got an old bird bath stand. The old plastic ones that are filled with sand. We had heavy winds a year ago. Cars going by. The wind tipped them over and it broke the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that stand and put a board on the top. Get this out of here. And I'm going to put this on top as a waterer for the bees, because bees need fresh water. They don't just need nectar, they don't just need pollen, they need water. Because what they'll do is during the hot days of summer, and you want to keep this in a shady spot so the water stays cool, they'll come and get that clean water and they'll go back to the hive and they'll just kind of mist everything, the bees will, to keep the hive cooler. So you want to make sure you have a water source, whether it's a pond or a little bird bath in the front of your house. You'll always want to have some kind of a water source so that they can find it and go back to their hive with it. And I'll show you that project as I'm doing it. Ruthie's just giving us a morning chat.
Did you tell them about last night we went to get dirt for the garden and what we picked up on the way home?
Oh, yes.
And how I acted about it. No. No.
We were talking on the way there to Auburn. that I needed more lumber, but the price of lumber has went up about 3 times the price. If you bought a 2x6 or a 2x4 or a sheet of plywood, they're about 3 times the amount they were 3 months ago. So we were talking about I needed some pine boards for some hive bottoms and hive tops. Now I told her I found a sheet or half a sheet of plywood in the garage that I can use for hive tops, but I needed 3/4 inch pine boards to make the bottoms. So, as I digress, we went into Auburn, and at the side of the road were 2 shelves that somebody had taken out of their basement or their garage. They were pine boards. And I told Ruthie, well, we got to finish our trip to the lumber company to get our bags of dirt, and on the way home, if they're still there, we'll load them up. Well, they were nice 3/4 inch pine boards that I need for my hive bottom, so it worked out perfect. So if you're out traveling and you see anything roadside, old dressers even, things that are thick enough that you can make bee equipment out. Now, if you're starting out with bees, what you need is a good hive tool, at least a veil. If you're afraid of getting stung in the face, you might want a full suit. That's fine. Everybody's different. Everybody has different fears. Bees can smell your fear, so they'll swarm around you to get you away from their hive. They'll try not to sting you, because once a bee stings you, they're dead. They're gone. They'll fly back to the hive, and within a couple hours, they're going to be dead. And the other bees will drag them out and drop them on the ground. What they are is they're guard bees, and those guard bees can be a little vicious. So whatever equipment you need, that you feel you need, get it. I advise a good hive tool, a beehive suit, or just a veil to protect your face. You might want the goatskin gloves. Now, I don't use the gloves because they're hard to grip your frames and things slip, and you cause more damage. In my thoughts, I cause more damage if I drop the frame in that or get them stirred up. You'll need a smoker. You definitely need a smoker. You can scrounge around your yard and go to the park, sweep up pine needles, dry grass clippings, paper, cardboard. You can make anything work in that smoker. So you don't have to put a lot of money into that thing. It's just the original smoker. And just something to collect the wax and things in. Even if you're going to throw the wax out, you don't have any way to melt the wax down into making and getting the stuff out of the wax. If you throw that wax away, don't do it around your beehives, because that draws in other bees that don't belong to that colony. Then you get robbing going on. So if you're going to get rid of your wax or your propolis or anything like that out of the hive, take them to your garbage can far away from your hives and throw them away. That's my tip for that. As far as your beehives themselves, that's why I make my own. You can buy a beehive, but you're talking anywhere from $200 to $400 for the whole setup, and that gets a little costly. If you get some of the books out of the library or go online and get the dimensions, you can make your own beehives. And I do that myself. When I first started, I bought 2 complete beehives, and I've been making some of the boxes myself, and the lids and the bottoms. So if you can save yourself money by just picking up, people throw stuff away all the time. You see a piece of pine board, or you see a piece of plywood next to the garbage can in somebody's yard, or they'll even put things out. Around here, they put things out and they put free on it. Whether they're refrigerators, dressers, boxes, whatever. If you can collect that kind of wood And try to stay away from the pressure treated. Go with the pine boards or cedar or something like that. And you can make your own beehives, and your cost of raising a hive or 2 or 10 or 20 bees is a lot better and a lot more economical for your pocket. Don't concentrate on getting the honey your first season. You want to build that hive up. You want to build up the amount of bees, make sure they're bringing in their own pollen and nectar, and they're making all their honey for the top box, and that they can get them through the winter. And then the next season, when spring comes along, you can take some of that honey away from them for yourself and let them continue in the second season to build up their own resources. But for today, I hope those little helpful hints helped you. You can take and, if you do it right and you use your head, you could probably save a lot of money doing things yourself. So if you see wood along the road, pick it up and do your research, get your dimensions offline, because a lot of traffic today. Because they do give the dimensions of the beehives in some of the books. A good book to get into bees is More Buses. The book is called Beekeeping for Dummies. It gives you all the information you'll ever need for starting your own hives and building frames and all that. So, keep that in mind. If you're not interested, just keep watching videos, and you'll be awestruck by some of the things that happen in beehives. I could sit in front of the beehive within 3-4 feet in a chair and know that the bees aren't going to attack me. You don't sit in front of the hive, because they have a flight plan, just like airports. You don't stand in the middle of the runway. If you're going to watch planes come in, you stand off to the side. Well, that's the same way with bees. I'll set my chair a couple of feet away from the entrance of the beehive, knowing that they're not going to attack me, and watch them come in and out with their pollen and their nectar. And it's really interesting, and it's very relaxing. Ruthie and I will take our breaks just watching the bees for a few minutes before we go back to doing our regular scheduled programming. I hope all this helped you. If it didn't, I can't help you there, but I hope you enjoyed this little talk. That I don't ask for donations or anything. This is not costing you anything. If nothing more, if you can get a little information and enjoy it, all well and good.
I want to just interject this. We do these videos because we're older, and we want to help you for free, so you don't make a lot of financial mistakes and have problems. We want you to be able to keep your bees or garden or whatever, and do it as cheap and smart. We went to the grocery shop. We have videos on grocery shopping and things, so you're not out there wasting your money and time and have to pay for information that we are more than happy to give to you for free. We don't monetize our channel, so you don't have to walk through ads. If you want to thank us in any way, you can share our videos to help other people. And but basically, that's what we're about, and always have been about that. We basically just want to help people for free, because there's lots and lots of stuff out there that you got to pay for, but we want to give you the information that we know, and of course we don't know everything for free. Okay, Dow.
All right. When I first started the beekeeping, I did all my research on watching other people on YouTube and watching what equipment they were using. And I went out and bought a bunch of equipment that I probably will never use, like the frame separator. if you just make sure they have the bee space on the sides, your hive tool will do all that. I've bought different things that I'll probably never use, and because of that, I'm giving you the information of what you will absolutely need, like the suit, the hives, the smoker, the hive tool. If you've got those 3 or 4 things, you're in good shape. Man, the traffic's terrible today. It's Thursday, rainy Thursday. You think most people would be at work. As I digress, with more traffic coming. Just do everything your way. Don't do everything, watch all these other, and you don't even have to do it my way. I do it my way because I do it my way. Don't follow everything I say. Just enjoy what I'm doing. That's all I do is I enjoy getting into the beehives and watching the bees and watching the progression of the eggs and the larva and the brood and the hatching and the making of the honey and the bringing in the pollen and nectar. That's all part of my game. I enjoy it. It's not costing me anything other than I had to go and buy a few nukes this spring only because of the problem we had with the electrician making me move my hives.
And we still have those bees.
And we still have those bees. So, but I ordered the 4 nukes before I even knew they had the bees out there. So there's things that are going to slow you up, and there's things that will speed you up. So all I'm saying is don't be getting into it just for the honey, because you're going to get so excited about getting all this honey and you're going to forget about the bees. We need the bees. We need the bees to pollinate. Bees pollinate 3/4 or a third of the food we consume. That goes from tomato plants to apples. We need the bees. And if you're in it for just the honey, I feel that you're going to take losses. So if you get into it for the bees, to make sure the bees are strong, healthy colonies, and they give you a frame or 2 of honey for yourself, that's a bonus. If you don't get the honey, so be it. So my little tips for today is do your research. Watch different videos. Get the book Beekeeping for Dummies. Go to your local library. They have all kinds of books for people. I hope all this helped you, and I'm going to get busy. I have to make a bee water stand, and I have to get my buckets ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow's video will probably be filling buckets with dirt and showing you how to pack the net cups with the soil so that it wicks it up into the buckets for your garden. Okay, this is Clay from Popel's Backyard Farm saying I hope you enjoyed this video, and come and join us again. And remember, big or small, you too could be a backyard farm. Bye-bye.